Let's go ahead and use our 19mm socket. We're going to go ahead and remove the lug nuts. Go ahead and grab your hubcap if you have one equipped. Set that aside. You want to go ahead and grab the wheel, remove that, and set that aside. We're going to go ahead and remove this lower bolt from our coil spring and shock unit. Before we do that, we're going to go ahead and jack the control arm up a little bit. So you should have your vehicle up on jack stands. Go ahead and put your jack under the control arm. I'm going to go ahead and raise this up just a little bit. We're not lifting the vehicle off of the jack stands. We just want to hold the pressure here when we remove this bolt. We don't want the suspension to drop down. Next, we're going to use a 17mm socket in our breaker bar to loosen this bolt. I'm going to work this back and forth. The bolt feels like it's loosening up. Go ahead and switch over to your ratchet. Once the bolt comes out of the fixed nut on the other side, we're going to slowly lower the control arm down, see if we can get any flexibility out of this unit here. Now as we're pulling this out, the bolt is kinking up at an angle. So we're going to jack this back up a little bit. Try and get this bolt out nice and easy. By raising and lowering the jack, we're going to find our sweet spot where the bolt just wants to come out nice and easy. So what we're doing here is we're going to use a medium-sized pry bar. We're going to go between the control arm and the shock unit itself, and we can make this flex, and you can see our ratchet and bolt moving. So this is going to assist us along with the jack to find that sweet spot. As you push up on this and move this around a little bit, the bolt comes out a lot easier. Between our jack and our pry bar, our bolt was still stuck. So we're going to use a long, thin punch. Knowing that the bolt is unthreaded, it's now just stuck inside the sleeve right here. We're going to put a long, thin punch inside, and we're going to go ahead and tap that bolt out. We're safe to go ahead and remove our jack. We're also going to use our pry bar, and we're going to pull this out. Okay. On the inside of our trunk, we have a plastic insert right here. It's a little screw lock. We're going to go ahead and use our flathead screwdriver, turn out the center of it, and then we're just going to pop out the base. I'm going to repeat for the one on the side over here. I'm going to come on over to the inside right here, and these screw right in. Once we have this out, we'll go ahead and pull the carpet back. And grab the material, pull that down. Forward part of the trunk area, you can see the strut up here. There are two bolts. There's one that we can see that's visible there. The other one is in front of the strut. We're going to try and gain access to that through the inside of the car. We're going to go ahead and fold down the back seat. Reach up under the deck lid here, and there is a little plastic pull strap. You're just going to pull that, and then you're going to go inside the vehicle. You're just going to grab the seat and pull that forward. And go ahead and grab that material. Pull that completely aside. This should give you some access to the back side of that strut. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the trunk carpet and the cardboard right here. You don't have to do this when replacing it, but it is going to help you see what we're doing. Using a 14mm deep socket, I want to go ahead and loosen and remove this nut right here. I'm going to go ahead and use our swivel and extension to get to this. Now the unit is loose, we'll go ahead and pull it out from the wheel well. Go ahead and grab your coilover. And slowly lower that down and out. Now we're going to take our new unit, line it up. Line this up into the body, get those studs lined up in there. I'm going to go ahead and tap this in with our rubber mallet. In order for us to get our bolts to line up on the control arm and our strut, we're going to go ahead and disconnect one of the sway bar end links. That's going to allow this control arm to have more flexibility out of it. So using a 14mm thin wall wrench and a 15mm socket and ratchet, I'm going to go ahead and remove this nut. Let's go ahead and install these two nuts here. Let's go ahead and tighten those down. I'm going to go ahead and torque these upper nuts to 43 foot-pounds. Go ahead and install our spare tire board here. And install our inner carpet liner here. And start our carpet trim button right here. All right, let's install the other one. Once that's in, let's go ahead and install the forward piece by the seat. It's going to install our little cargo buttons here. And once we snug this one down, we'll go ahead and install the upper. Install our trunk mat. So if you have two people, it's going to be easy to go ahead and grab the pry bar that you have between the upper control arm and the chassis of the vehicle. One person, we're going to use a long punch here. We're going to pull down on that pry bar, and we're going to feed this through the receiving end where the bolt would go through. And we're going to pull down on the pry bar. And we're going to try and line up the strut with the punch here. Might take you a couple tries. Good. All right, so we got the bolt set in. We were able to pull the punch out. I'm going to go ahead and tap that bolt a little bit. Let's go ahead and put our wrench on that and tighten that up. going to go ahead and torque our bolt down to 45 foot-pounds. Let's get and install our sway bar end link. Go ahead and torque down the sway bar end link to 29 foot-pounds. Go ahead and install your wheel. Line this up. I'm going to get all 4 of these started by hand, and then we'll go ahead and snug them down. Then we're going to go ahead and torque the wheels down to 80 foot-pounds.